I think the job of being a teacher is so rewarding in so many ways.
The connection between you and the whole class, that's still unbeatable.
When my pupils are successful, it feels incredible.
I think the greatest thing for me is seeing the pupils that I teach love the subject as much as I do.
I don't think there's any other job where you get the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search Apply to Teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
Gamertag Radio is on play.in.
You can now watch Gamertag Radio live on Twitch.
Get all the latest news and coverage related to the gaming industry.
Join hosts Danny Pena, Paris Lilly, and Peter Toledo.
Don't miss the crew record the podcast live Sundays, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or Wednesdays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get involved with the conversation, send us questions, and be part of the show.
Gamertag Radio.
Follow us, twitch.tv/Gamertag Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your host, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Here we go.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 683. This is your host, Danny, and we're live on Twitch. And also I have co-host of the show. We have Paris in the house. Paris.
Hey, how's everybody doing out here live on Twitch?
Yeah, man. And also we have Pete Rock.
Yo. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. Man, you guys been playing a lot of Destiny 2 beta, huh? For the past day or so?
Honestly, I haven't. I actually, aside from that session I did with Paris and his son and Phoenix from the Phoenix podcast, I haven't touched it.
Oh, you have? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I've been relatively Destiny free. I haven't touched it. Like, obviously, I want to play it. And, Paris and we've got this alternate chat on Twitter. And so, there's been offers of, hey, let's, get together and play and stuff like that. So, like, I want to, but I don't want to burn myself out by playing like 7 hours a day. Because I think that was something that I did with the first Destiny. Obviously, I didn't get burnt out until the end of like 2016 or whatever when I stopped playing. But I kind of don't want to go through that again. I did that, as recently with the Division, and then, spent a couple months in, and then I burnt myself out. So I'm kind of taking it a low and slow approach. Also because PUBG has taken over my life, and I can't do anything else but play that game because I'm addicted. So. Okay. And yes, Paris looking at me mad because of that comment.
And Paris, you have anything to say about that?
Well, I've taken the complete opposite approach because I started right at 10 a.m. Pacific when it launched, played for 3.5 hours, took a break, played for another 2 hours, and then capped off the night with another 3.5 hour session. And then when I got home from work today, I just played for another 2.5 hours. So I think it's safe to say I've been playing Destiny 2 beta to death at this point, and I don't know if we want to get into all our impressions or anything right now, but
give it a few more minutes.
Well, then you shouldn't have started off the show asking.
I just wanted to know, because I know you guys have been playing. I just finally started to play today through the Xbox One console, so it was cool. I like it. And I see Pete commenting like, "Oh, you should have been doing this," and that. I'm like, dude, I'm just playing. I'm not. This is a beta. It's nothing serious.
We'll talk about that later in the show. Trust me.
Oh God, it's all good.
Definitely bring that back up.
All right, so head over to gamertagradio.com or play.it/gamertag. You can listen to our past episodes over there, and make sure to share with your friends. You can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, and other podcast directories. And also, you could subscribe or follow us on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/gamertagradio.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, so let's start with this. I just received an email yesterday, a press release, that Titanfall, they're adding the 4-player co-op Operation Frontier Shield. It comes out July 25th. I know they had something similar to that in the last game, but yeah, they're gonna be doing them totally for free. Anybody has Titanfall 2 is gonna be totally free. I believe also comes with 2 maps. So I'm excited. I think I'm gonna try that out and probably stream it over here on Twitch, man. What are you guys' thoughts, man? That Respawn is still updating this game and releasing free content for those that have the game.
Well,
I think that's pretty cool.
Something that Respawn said early on in their discussions about the game was that Titanfall 2 was always going to be supported by free content moving forward. And I think that was a bold move by them, and I think it might have been necessary because of the launch window they did. And so that might have been their way to ensure that people continue playing the game after launch, in my personal opinion. But have you played any of the Frontier Shield maps or game type prior to this?
So no, I haven't.
Okay, so for those that aren't familiar with what Frontier, Operation Frontier Shield or Frontier Defense is, it's essentially 4-on-4 co-op / horde mode, and it's pretty fun. I like it. When I played it on Xbox, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. Unfortunately, I haven't put in the time on that title as it may have deserved after launch, but I've always dug it. I think it's a good thing, and I like that they brought it in with 5 different maps for that. So it's not just one game type, one map. It's one game type, 5 different maps, and then, as you mentioned, the 2 remastered maps, which is Rise and Township.
Hey, I'm glad that Respawn is still supporting the game. Don't get me wrong at all. I just can't help but look back at last year and how big of a mistake it was to release that game in October when they did. I mean, we joke about this year being October 27th just being the death day of just so much content coming out. Essentially, Respawn did that last year. They released it in the heart of the holiday season, and they basically competed against another EA title with Battlefield 1. Then, oh, by the way, here's Call of Duty coming right behind it. You know what I mean? Along with Dishonored 2 and some other big titles. And it's a thing of, as good as that campaign was, the multiplayer community basically abandoned it.
And like Paris said, I like that although they may have floundered as a result of their poor choice in launch window, I like the fact that they didn't just say, okay, well, screw it. We're just gonna fold and move forward to the next game that we're developing. I like that, like Paris said, they're going to continue to push and develop for the game.
So I have a little mini rant over here right now. So you guys already know that I've been playing Splatoon 2 for the Nintendo Switch now for a couple of days there. So what happened today? Nintendo released the Nintendo Switch Online app. Finally, you can test it out. Remember, this is a limited app where not all the functions are available. Still a little buggy and all that stuff, right? So I was curious. I was like, all right, let me go online and let's see who's on, so we could play a match on Splatoon and maybe use the voice chat. So I'm like, all right, let me try it out. So I tried it. First of all, and Splatoon is the only game right now that supports this app, right? So the only way somebody could join my game through the app, if I invite them through there, I have to go to the Nintendo Switch, find my friend. No, actually, no. Go to the Nintendo Switch and click the online app feature is there. Then I have to grab my phone, see who's online from my friend list from the Switch. You could also pick from Facebook or Twitter, but I only focus on Nintendo Switch. Invite them. So once they join my lobby, then I can't turn, like, when you have Skype on the phone, you could like turn it off, like go to another app and you have it like in the background and it's still running and everything. You can't do that with this. If you leave the app, the voice chat is completely gone. It doesn't work, nothing. Like, it's completely gone. And here's the only thing too. You can't play all the matches, like other modes on Splatoon is only private match. So if I decide like, man, let's play some online matchmaking. Let's invite a couple of my friends and let's play online against other people. I can't do that for now, unless they plan to add some like new updates in the future and stuff. But it's not looking good right now. And if this is going to be the online Switch for the future in 2018, then I'd rather just focus on maybe inviting our community from the Discord channel and just chat through there and play some online games like that, because I feel like there's a lot of things missing in the app. And I know it's still early. They could update and make some changes, but man, it was frustrating today, man. The voice chat is okay. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. Hey, it's free, so I can't complain.
But at the same time, an app like that, even though it's free, should function and interact with its game and with its library of games, regardless of whether it's free or paid. Microsoft doesn't have an issue with it. PlayStation doesn't have an issue with it. Steam obviously doesn't have an issue with it. So why should Nintendo, considered one of the big three, have an issue with it? And why should it get a free pass just because it's Nintendo?
First of all, they haven't been into the whole online gaming not for that long compared to Microsoft, Sony, and Steam.
It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter, though.
It's
buckets of money coming out of the Nintendo coffers. Their bank account is overflowing with cash. They've got more than enough resources. I just don't think they've got enough desire to maybe dedicate those resources in the form of cash flow or whatever towards it. And that's what they should be doing.
But here's the thing, Pete. I think that us as fans of Nintendo, we have to really post our feedback in order for this to be better once they launch. Imagine if they would have launched this and start charging people $20, just say, and just like this with the same mold, same everything. I'll be mad because I'm like, wow, I think it would have been better for them to have at least a beta test or something for free to try it out, and then based on the feedback, make updates, make it better. And then when it launches in 2018, now it's a lot better. Now there's things that we could do that we couldn't do at first when it first launched. So right now I'm kind of like this. I'm a little iffy about it, but I'm going to wait until the full release in 2018. If I see it is still the same, then I'll be kind of complaining, But this was just a mini rant about that, So, but Paris, you have any thoughts about that, man?
No, I mean, believe it or not, I actually agree with you. For once, I actually agree with you. So I think we can leave it at that, right? Yeah. That's good. Yeah, cause the reason why I asked that too, Paris, because, you're a Switch owner, and I know you're excited for a couple of games that's coming out later this year, or maybe some coming out next year that might have some online features. You were like, man, I want to start playing some online games with my friends or even with your kids, So that's why I wanted to ask to see if you agree with me or not. But okay, we're good. We're on the same page then. Yes, we are on the same page.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page that they should be beta testing things like this. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a poor decision that they chose not to. Mm-hmm. I just think a company like Nintendo, who is so, for lack of a better term, hell-bent on supporting their player base, has decided not to throw the resources necessary at something like this to put them on par with the Microsofts and the Sonys and the Steams. I mean, yes, multiplayer might not be the bread and butter for Nintendo as it is for companies like Microsoft and Sony, but it's something that is, if not already the de facto form of communication when playing video games in a multiplayer or co-op experience. It's right up there with importance. And this is not something that should just be slept on by Nintendo and just allow them to just, we'll get by with a couple of poorly designed applications or poorly tested, concepts.
I just hope that they add Mario Kart to this feature too, because there's a lot of people that also play that game a lot, way more than any other game on the Switch, I think.
And I just hope that we can recognize MRB 1138 for being the latest subscriber to our Twitch channel. So thank you very much for that.
Woo! Good
job.
Pretty slick there.
Thank you, sir.
Pretty dope. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the support. All right, so let's go with a word from our sponsors. With the Western Digital. With WD, you're now able to get solid-state drives and hard drives to fit your unique needs. When you add the superior performance of a WD solid state drive to your PC, you get blazing read speed so you could boot your system quickly or load games and other application in a snap, just like Nintendo Switch, in a snap like that. Combined with a reliable WD hard drive, you get up to 6 terabytes of storage to keep your games library, direct feed video, podcasts, and more, all in a single place. And for a limited time, Gamertag Radio listeners and viewers, of course, can get 20% off WD STDs with coupon code WDGTR. That's WDGTR. Find out more at WD.com/GTR. And like I was telling the guys now for the past few days now, because I've been trying to stream with my MacBook and stuff, but I think I'm going to get a PC very, very soon. And I think I'm going to take advantage of this, man. Taking advantage big time. So I just need Paris and Pete to tell me which PC I should get so I could use this.
Whoa, did you say
what?
I'm not even going to repeat what I thought you just said. As far as the PC goes, figure it out yourself.
Wow, you're not going to help me?
No.
You're not going to help the
No,
GOD?
I would love to watch you try and build a PC. That would make my day.
It's like Legos, man. Put everything together. Right?
I know. See, someone in the chat room just said what I thought you said. I'm not going to repeat it, though.
No, oh my God. What
I'm
I
not
just
going to
said?
repeat it. Look at the chat.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, I did not say that. No, you could rewind that. I did not say that. I said SSDs. Oh my God. You guys are hilarious. No, but seriously, support our sponsor. Take advantage of this and put a coupon code WDGTR and go to the website WD.com/GTR. Take advantage of this. All right. All right. So I think it's time to talk about Destiny 2 beta. First of all, Paris, your boy, was on IGN, the Destiny podcast. That's pretty cool. Shout out to Pope Bear, man.
Yeah. I just saw Pope Bear on there. That's my guy. That's a good dude, man. I even admitted to him that I'm really liking the Titan in Destiny 2. I might betray the Warlock Order. I don't know. We'll see. But then again, I was just playing with a Warlock earlier, and
why you may decide to do that? Make that move probably in the future.
Well, I mean, are we just going to go ahead and get into the discussion right now?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay, so like I said, I've been basically playing Destiny 2 beta every chance I've had since it came out on the 18th, and I started off with a Titan. Played that first 3.5 hours as a Titan. Then I switched over to Warlock, ran Voidwalker. I've done Dawnblade. I haven't done 100 yet. I'm going to do that probably tonight or tomorrow. But I got to say, my game time with the Titan, had a lot of fun with it, man. A lot of fun playing that Sentinel Titan, getting used to doing the super, and just overall, here's my overall thought with the Destiny 2 beta. I am loving the changes that they've made to the weapons. I was kind of skeptical at first going to the kinetic and the energy and the power slot, but playing a lot of PvP now, I'm starting to understand the different combinations that I can have with it. And it's just fun, man. I find that my favorite is to run an auto rifle in kinetic, do a pulse rifle in my energy slot, and then I'm using a fusion rifle for my power weapon. And I'm kicking ass in PvP. And as far as PvP goes, I've been a big, proponent of not getting rid of 2v2, 1v1s, and 6v6s. But this 4v4 mode that we played so far, doing countdown and doing control, been having a lot of fun. I'm not missing 6v6 at all playing 4v4. Now, I do see a scenario where, I'm still going to want to do the 1v1 and the 2v2 stuff, but the 4v4 feels like on these smaller, more intimate maps, the sweet spot. Like Control has just been an absolute blast. And then Countdown, since I've been playing a lot of Trials lately and it's kind of an elimination mode, a lot of those tactics come into Countdown. Having a lot of fun with that too. And like I said, Bungie has always, since Halo Combat Evolved, have been known for their gunplay. And this is really translating over into Destiny 2. The guns just feel right. They feel fun to pick up. I feel encouraged to want to experiment with them. And with this being the beta, and we're only getting this tiny vertical slice of what the overall game's going to be, I'm finding that even repeating the same 2 PvP maps over and over, playing that same strike over and over, I'm still having fun. Hell, right before we recorded, myself, my son, and Andrew Uriah from the show Radio, we jumped into that strike on Nessus. Instead of doing the strike, we just explored. We went and looked at that lost sector. We kicked off this insane public event where just hell rained down from everywhere, and just all these high level yellow bar Cabal and Vex and Fallen were just coming at us from all angles. It was insane. So if this is what I can expect going into Destiny 2, sign me up. I'm in, all in. Throw the wallet, the bank account, the money order, everything. Your P.O. box, y'all get everything. Cash on delivery, whatever you want, you got it, because I'm in.
So I was watching your live stream yesterday, Paris, and there was a couple of things that you guys talked about, like maybe, was it the weapons? You guys talked about a little bit about the weapons, and also maybe the grenades, that it takes too long for you to use it again. Do you think that's an issue?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I was actually just talking about this on stream earlier. If I had to nitpick, if some of my nitpicks, it would be, I feel like on the PV, like I understand it for PvP. I understand they want the game to be more primary weapon focused, which I actually dig. So you're not going to be able to just spam grenades and spam supers. Like literally when you play PvP, you're going to get probably 1 super per match, 2 if is a miracle at this point. And that's good because you have to tactically use them in PvP. It's more about your primary weapons. And then even the power weapons, it's tactical when you pick those up. Everyone doesn't be able to get them, and you're just spamming rockets or fusion rifles or snipers all over the place. It's more primary weapon focused. But the problem is on PvE. What I'm seeing is you're not getting your super enough, and you're not getting grenades enough in PvE. Now, Luke Smith has gone on Twitter and talked about they need to tweak some things on the PvE side. They need to have power ammo drop more in PvE. They obviously need grenades and all that kind of stuff to recharge quicker, things like that. So again, this is what the beta is for, and they still have time to tweak some of this stuff before launch. But if I had any nitpick, it would be that. And I would say my other nitpick would be on PvP, where I feel like they're kind of giving us the participation award when it comes to the scoreboard at the end, because now they're not saying how many actual kills did you get, how many actual assists did you get, how many times did you die. They kind of grade it on a curved scale when you look at your final kind of KD count, basically how effective you were in the match.
That's the efficiency rating, right?
Efficiency rating. Thank you. And it's more of a thing of, hey, we want everyone to participate. Everyone can contribute, and everyone can feel good about playing PvP. Whereas I'm not the greatest PvP player in the world, but I want to get better. I always want to get better when I play. So I want to know what I did wrong versus what I did right. I want to know how many times I made that stupid move and got killed. You know what I mean? I don't want to see, well, you had a 3.5 efficiency rating. Well, what the hell does that mean? I want to know how many times I got a kill, how many times I had an assist, and how many times I died, so that when I go back and look at it, I can figure out what I need to do to get better. So that, if I had a nitpick, and we're talking to Deej next week, that would probably be the one nitpick thing I bring up to him.
Should we just talk about it now? Because probably a lot of people don't know what's happening next week.
Sure. So next Wednesday on Gamertag Radio at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, we're going to have Deej from Bungie on the podcast live here on Twitch. So you guys can hang out in the chat room with us. We'll be talking to Deej. Now, I will warn you ahead of time. We're going to focus more on, let's take a look back at the 3 years of Destiny. Let's look at this fantastic community that's been built around Destiny, and not, hey, I saw a glitch when I was on Nessus and I don't like the way that looked. We're not going to talk about the technical stuff because that's for the developers. He's the community manager. So we're going to talk about the things that he focuses on, which is the community, which is the celebration of this game, which is looking at this being one of the least toxic gaming communities I've ever been a part of, and is one of the major reasons why I talk about it so much. Those are the kind of things we're going to talk about. Sure, we'll get into a little bit, hey, here's what I thought about the beta, those kind of things, but we're not going to get into all the, and then that's another ridiculous thing I think I've seen the last couple of days on social media, people complaining about things that are broken in a beta. It's a beta. They warned you ahead of time that things were going to be broken. Now, if they're broken in retail, I'll be the first one in front of the line with a pitchfork complaining. But that's the point. They want the feedback to be able to fix things, and people are saying, oh, it's broken. I'm never touching this again. And that's ridiculous too. But to my original point, we'll have Deej on next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to talk about Destiny and Destiny 2. Should be a lot of fun.
All right, cool. P, do you want to say anything about the beta, or we should go next topic?
So
very quick.
Mostly, I know Paris is going to be all in. Like, obviously, him and I, actually the three of us, we talk on a daily basis. I played yesterday with him, and that Paris, essentially, he's the devout follower of the light at this point.
Mm-hmm.
My questions are more towards you, because you have, I don't want to say a great history with the game, but you do have a large level of skepticism when it comes to a game like Destiny. We could even go back to, year one. I think it was month 2 or month 3. We were going into the raid, and, this is the infamous Danny Hates Destiny story, where you had the biggest concern of, trying to participate in the raid, and me being the scumbag and the party leader, I think it was actually me that booted you from the team in the middle of the raid because we weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
And like, it almost seemed like since then you've been salted on Destiny as a whole. You did have a moment there where you actually came back and you actually gave it the good old college try, but it still wasn't 100% where like you were sucked in to the level where like Paris and I play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Having that type of history and experience, and now coming into the game, hopefully with fresh eyes and no chips on the shoulder, how are you feeling about the beta? Is this something that you think you could continue to play after, say, the first month? Do you think this is something that fits in the Danny Pena scheme of games that he would play for more than a month or two?
I'll play it, but remember too, like, there's a lot of other games that is in my radar higher than Destiny 2. But I'll play it. I'm not gonna be like you guys, maybe 24/7 playing that. I think that I want to try out, the Mario Odyssey, the new Assassin's Creed. Like, those are my type of games. Even Forza. I like to try new things, man.
Okay, but we are too, though. You see, you always say we don't ever play other games. We do.
No. I'm saying this. It's like, I'm not gonna be just going crazy with Destiny 2. I gonna play it, and if I see something else, I'll move on. Like, I always been that way with Destiny. It's not like I hate the game. That's not hate the game at all, Pete.
Oh no, I'm not saying you hate it. I'm just saying.
But here's my issue that I have now, because now we're here. This is the issue that I have with a lot of just gamers in period, like in general. I mean, so if I want, like, let's say I play Destiny, and I've never played this level, and I'm trying to figure out about the world of Destiny, let's say the raid. I feel like a lot of people that's in the group probably will be like making fun of me or make me feel uncomfortable because I don't know, I've never done this before. Some people know. Some people are like, no, Danny, look, this is what you do. But there's others that just being, I don't know.
Who do you play with? What kind of friends do you have that are clowning you for coming into something that you've never experienced before?
I'm not going to mention names, but I just feel uncomfortable.
Is it Pete?
No, Pete, no. But I'm just saying, like, little things like that. That's not going to make me go back and play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, Paris, you said that the community is awesome. That's cool. I totally agree with you. Like, I know that, but I met people in the past playing that game that I just felt uncomfortable. So it's like, I'm not level up, so I'm not like everybody's radar.
Okay. I'm gonna say this right now, and if you don't do it, this is your freaking bad, because I'm extending the invitation right now. Play Destiny 2 on the PlayStation 4. I'm a part of the Guardian 1 clan. It is one of the most friendly, welcoming, open clans in Destiny. And I promise you, I don't even have to be a part of it. I can just say, here's Danny Pena, go take care of him. I guarantee you they'll have you through the raid, leveled up, doing everything. They'll have you playing trials, because that's how good it is, right? But if you stay on that, well, actually, Guardian 1's on Xbox too. Never mind, you can stay on Xbox. See, you don't even have to play with me. You can stay on Xbox.
so I can play Emerald?
Yeah, Emerald. You can play on the Emerald. But the point I'm trying to make, all jokes aside, is there are a lot of clans out there that welcome in people that they want them to have those experiences, because I say it a million times. And look, I have no shame. I am standing on the corner, leg exposed. You know how much I love this game. I make no secret about it. And the reason I love it so much is because of the people. I've made so many friends and had so many positive encounters because of this game that it keeps me engaged to it. And it's why I keep talking about it, because I want people to have those experiences. And I'm telling you, this raid that's probably about to come out is just going to be straight fire. We already know it, Gary, or whatever his name is. And you're going to want to experience something. Like, there's not a greater satisfying feeling than completing a freaking raid. Going from something that seems damn near impossible to 6 people coming together as one, figuring it out and completing it. I dare you to tell me something better in console gaming than that.
All right. Now, here's my question to you guys. So, when you played any raid for the first time, it just came out, you guys already set up that you guys are going to play it together and everything. Do you look for tips online or video walkthroughs or anything just to play that for the first time? Or are you just
not
like
even on the first one.
moment?
The first run through? No, we try to go as blind as possible. As blind as possible. Okay. Absolutely. Because that's where all the fun is. When you're discovering all of these things on your own in real time with your friends online. Okay. That is what lends itself to why raids, regardless of whether you're playing on, World of Warcraft or some other MMORPG or a game like Destiny, that is what lends to the satisfaction of a game like that and playing a raid, is because you go from zero knowledge of how to play that game to complete excitement and elation and ecstasy because of this ability to just get everybody communally together to complete this task. And a lot of times, especially like the math one on the last one, that was one of the most difficult things we've ever experienced, because you got to do math in real time, converting binary. And just, even from the periphery, watching the entire community come together to try to solve the mystery of the monitors on the last raid was impressive, to say the least. Because you had people from around the world doing math and creating calculators online on how to figure out which monitors you had to hit, and it was so amazing to see that, and then to finally get through it and do it. No, like he says, it's one of the best experiences you can enjoy.
Yeah, let me tell you, because actually on the Bungie podcast, they talked about the origin of this week, and that's the Black Spindle mission. Where, and I remember this like it was yesterday, where I got up. I always would check Destiny Reddit because, I read it all the time. So I remember I got up before work, like 5 a.m. I'm reading Destiny Reddit, and 2 dudes found Black Spindle. They found the side mission, and people were like, is this real? Is it fake? Is this real? And the freaking internet exploded over this whole Black Spindle mission. How do you get to do it? How do you get this gun? And then I came home from work that night. I'm talking to my buddy. Oh my God, we got to get a fire team as soon as I get home. And you run home, and then we did it like 20 times until we finally figured it out and got Black Spindle. And then, like Pete said, you take that Outbreak Prime mission and all the steps that went into that. And it was a community collaborative effort to figure that out. No one told them how to do it. The community worked together, and various people in the community figured it out. People way smarter than me, by the way, because it involved math, but they figured it all out, and you got this awesome weapon, from the raid, and it took these various steps to get it. What other game's doing that right now? There's no other game doing that right now.
No, I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
I just, you know what I think is who I play with. So, maybe I'll play also with some of our GTR community members too. Get together.
I keep telling you, play on PlayStation. You can play with me, because unlike Pete, I'm not going to shame you for not being leveled up on the raid. I'm just going to say, come on, let's do it.
It was a community discussion, though.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Take it out. You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
All right, so speaking about Pete here, Pete, Fortnite.
Yes.
I know we already got the game. Mm-hmm. You can't play it yet because servers are not online.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not unlocked yet. But so tell us a little bit about the Fortnite. 'Cause honestly, I don't know much about the game.
Okay.
Until recently, I think till like E3 and so on.
Well, it's a game.
You want to talk about it?
It's a game that's been in development by Epic for I want to say 2 years now. It's essentially you're dropped into an area. I don't want to go through the whole premise of it because I think that's something that lends the story concept to the game. But your goal is to farm materials and essentially defend your base from a horde of zombies. That's essentially what it is. And the cool thing about the game is, unlike other games where they just throw waves of zombies at you or waves of enemies at you, and they always follow the same path, Fortnite is actually something that's kind of like a procedurally generated defense game, because if the zombies notice that you're doing a specific task to block them, they'll actually think outside of the box and actually start to wrap around or avoid your area because of what you're doing. So it's not just, okay, well, I'm just going to block everything. Then they'll just start to overload one thing and create a mountain of zombies, and then they climb over to you. Things like that. That's probably the quickest way of describing it without giving away the premise and how the game is played. But like you said, you're going to have yours unlocked tomorrow. So you're going to be doing a stream, I believe, right after somewhere around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll be doing the PC version tomorrow night as well. I want to kind of do a whole, beginning to end, or not end because obviously it just keeps going, but I want to go, something blind so people can see the game and experience it live. And, I think something like that is a lot of fun. You get to see the experience of how to play that game, and it's a lot of fun. When we were at E3, I got a chance to sit and essentially go through the tutorial where it tells you how to farm, what does farming create, how to do combat, how to improve your combat skills, how to level up, different components or skills, how to switch characters depending on the needs. And then I actually after I was done with that, speaking with the marketing team, shout out to them over at Epic, a phenomenal marketing team. They were like, "Do you want to play with the developers?" And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "Yeah." And and that was one of the things that kind of surprised me, because you figure a game, after having spent a year or two in development, they've spent so much time on the game. You're at E3. The last thing they want to do is play the game, because that's all they do, 9, 10, 12 hours a day as a developer. And they were itching for open spots in their schedules to play the game. Like they're on the, while we were in the meeting room. So that really opened my eyes of, wow, that shows a lot of, how much they enjoy the game, not just because they're making it or because they're trying to sell it, but because they genuinely enjoy the gameplay and what they've brought to light. So getting to sit there and play with them, and they're, watching the tactics and the communication of, okay, you got to go here. Let's start to build up this, let's start to build up the base. Let's start to reinforce it by going from normal wood walls. Now we're going to start building concrete. Okay, we now need to go farm materials so we could put more concrete and more tower defense and the whole nine. It was so much fun. And when we actually beat the level, it was almost like it was. I don't want to say it's as much, but it was the sense of elation after defeating that round. It was like, wow, that it was close. I'm not going to say it's close to Destiny type levels, but yeah, it was that satisfaction of getting 6 people to work together, similar to the raid in Destiny, to complete a task and to win. And again, it's fun co-op experiences like that are, I think, going to be the future of video games, especially from a multiplayer component. Because that's, who doesn't like doing co-op stuff, right?
And I think I read somewhere where that this game is also cross-play, PC version and PlayStation 4.
I don't know about that.
No? Okay. I think maybe I read it wrong.
No. I don't believe there's any cross-plat. So yeah, I don't know where that came from. No, I can't. Okay. I can't confirm that.
Well, scratch that, everyone. Okay. So Telltale Games finally announced some of the games that's coming out for 2017 and also 2018. So Paris, the new Batman game, The Enemy Within. That's a big one. The Walking Dead Final. and The Wolf Among Us Season 2, which I'm super excited about. Your thoughts about this, man? I think it's a perfect timing right before Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a perfect time to announce all three of those titles. I'm excited for all three of them in various ways. Obviously, like I said, I thought that first Batman was fantastic. Probably my personal favorite game of last year. So really looking forward to that sequel. I mean, Big B's coming back, so you know I'm hyped for Big B. I love The Wolf Among Us. I thought it was fantastic. And then, hey, if they're going to go ahead and wrap up The Walking Dead, that is what literally kicked all this off. One of the most emotional series that Telltale's ever put out. So, yeah, I mean, this is great, man. This is what they're good at, telling these stories in that format. So I think fans should be very excited for all three.
100% agree. 100% agree. And like you said, San Diego Comic-Con, the Comic-Con, essentially, if you really think about it, is the perfect place because all three of those have its history and originated from comic books. I mean, The Wolf Among Us is it's a comic book series that, it's an amazingly award-winning, if I'm not mistaken, award-winning comic book. Obviously, Batman, I mean, that goes without saying. And then The Walking Dead started off, as a comic book from Image with Robert Kirkman. So, yeah, I think
they're busy.
The three, personally, I think I'm most excited for The Wolf Among Us Season 2. I actually watched my son do a whole playthrough of that this past summer. And I was surprised, threw in the late pass, this is a game I should have played when it first came out, but I never got to it, and I kicked myself in the tuchus as a result. The Walking Dead, like Paris said, super emotional, at least from my perspective, and I'm sure Paris probably agrees, simply because as parents, seeing the evolution and the growth of Clem from season 1 to the young woman that she is, going into season 4, the final season, it's like watching our kids growing up in front of us, because I mean, hell, the end of season 1 dropped a tear. Like, it was that emotional.
It was.
Batman, I know Paris put that as his game of the year, I believe, last year. And unfortunately, I haven't played it. And being a comic book fan and having not played it is a surprise. So I'll likely go back and try to play that. So that, I don't know whether I can actually get that done by August 8th. I don't know. But yeah, I would like to go play that just to get the whole gameplay experience. And hey, we definitely can see the Riddler as who they were alluding to with that screen of question marks. And then seeing John Doe, aka, the Joker from season 1 potentially. So, hey, I can't complain. Yeah, I love Batman. I love the Joker. I love that whole dynamic between the two of them. So yeah, Telltale's going to keep, knocking it out of the park like this. I mean, it's kind of hard not to say no to buying these things.
Definitely, man. I played The Wolf Among Us. First time I played was through my iPad. I know it was available. It was available for the Xbox, but I was like, let me play my iPad on the go, and yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it, man. It was really, really good. I think so. Can't wait for season 2.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right, so should we do some fan mail questions from the chat or what? Because I'm ready to do this fan mail effect. So let's do it right now. It's time for fan mail.
Fan mail at gamertagradio.com.
All right. And I had the special effect in the podcast. Yeah. All right. So is there any questions?
Actually, here's one here, and I don't want to say his name wrong, but it's DFR3AK. So is that DeFreak? I think. Yeah, okay. So he's saying, have you guys heard anything about Massive Entertainment's new project based in James Cameron's Avatar universe? Will this be The Division 2? I think it would be a cool universe for an open world game. No, actually, this is the first time I'm hearing about this.
First time too.
And I would agree that if they were to do an open world type game set in that Avatar universe, that would be something very interesting to explore.
Sounds good. I never heard about this though. Will this be The Division 2? Pete, you're a Division fan?
Yeah, I don't think, if they do, I don't think it's going to be anything combined with it. If I'm not mistaken, this was something from February earlier this year, and I think it's simply because I think Massive is working with James Cameron's studio on the Avatar, and I think they're going to be using the Snowdrop engine, but I don't think it has anything to do with it actually being the Division 2. I think they're just two totally separate things.
All right. Is there any questions out there? Make sure to post something in the chat. Let me see if there's anything on it.
Actually, got one message here from Anthony Gravely to our fan mail.
Okay.
No one seems to get me excited for games quite like you guys. Paris got me back into Destiny when I was out, and Pete has gotten me into PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds pretty heavy. Thank you. You guys are definitely bad for my wallet. Big fan of the show and really appreciate for all of the content, and keep up the good work and keep it coming. Looking forward to checking you out more on Twitch. Anthony from Raleigh. P.S. If you could send me a link to Discord, would really appreciate it. Anthony, just if you're here on Twitch, you can actually scroll down and go down to GTR Discord and actually click the button, and it'll send you into Discord. That's probably the easiest way to get invited into the server. You still cannot, after the show is over, or you can, if you're listening to it via your podcast app, just go ahead and send us a message at fanmail, or send us a reply to the message at fanmail@gamertagradio.com, and we'll make sure to get back to you.
All right, I got another one. This one is from Loss1652. He's saying, you guys hear about the reason Xbox One X has taken so long for FCC approval? What basically he's saying, was it for one chip? ? I've heard, it was. We heard initially it was because they didn't want it to leak through the FCC for E3. They wanted to keep the name secret or whatever. I personally think that's BS. I don't think that's the reason. I will say this. I feel like Microsoft is dropping the ball by not having pre-orders ready day one. And I know you think I'm crazy, whatever. And not having pre-orders available right now. I mean, it takes away the momentum from it. Maybe they can get it back with Gamescom, make some announcements, and then have pre-orders available globally at that point. But I mean, dude, to announce this thing, say the price of it, and then basically tell your consumers you have no way to buy it right now, wait, they're going to spend their money on something else. Even though I say that, but even though the hardcore fans will be there day one lined up to pick it up, and they're going to buy it anyways. But I just think from a momentum standpoint, you're losing all your momentum against your competition by not having it available day one, because you can't actively promote it right now. We can't have all these promotions about Xbox One X because you can't buy it. I just think it was a half measure, to steal a line from Breaking Bad. It was a half measure what they did when they should have went full in, had it ready, have it sold out before E3 even ends, and just ride their momentum all the way into November.
I agree with that. I think that by them having a huge press conference during E3, and it's the week of E3 where everybody's been, watching like the live streams, online websites and everything, they should have that ready for pre-order.
See,
Gamescom is big, but it's compared to E3, like at the moment, it's not, like, I don't know, it's not as big in my opinion. I think. So,
and like the chat room, look at the chat room right now. They're all agreeing. They're like, I want to give them my money, but they won't let me. That's a problem. When people are saying, hey, one person is saying, hell, my wallet's starting to tingle towards that PlayStation 4 Pro,
Mm-hmm. Not only that, maybe they want to buy other games instead of a system. That can happen too. So yeah, Paris, I agree with you, sir.
Wow.
Ooh,
in the show, we both agree with each other in the same show.
All right, so I have a question here, and this is actually from Paladin1. I was late to the show, but thoughts on Casey Hudson returning to BioWare?
They were like, I can tell you right now, and I do it on the camera. Please, baby Jesus, please come back to BioWare and save Mass Effect. Please, Casey, help us. Please help. We need it. That's what that was.
You think it has nothing to do with Anthem?
Anthem's Anthem's a year out at this point. I mean, he was there when that project got kicked off, and BioWare Edmonton is handling it. in my personal opinion, I think he's back for Mass Effect. I think he's back to get that IP on track after the hot freaking mess that happened with it with BioWare Montreal. So I think Anthem at this point is probably already in good hands. That's kind of a all hands on deck. Let's get this game right and get it out next year scenario. I don't think Casey Hudson's coming this late in the game to quote unquote save Anthem, because I don't think it needs saving. I think he's here to save Mass Effect. I really do.
Agree. And I can already imagine those negotiations at BioWare. Casey, come back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Casey, come back.
All right, so quick question. You think they're in panic mode right now?
Yes.
Panic mode?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Think about this. As much as I've rambled on this episode about how much I love Destiny, I was probably a bigger fan of Mass Effect. That's how much I love that franchise. Yeah. I did not pick up Mass Effect Andromeda because I could see it coming. I go, this is not my Mass Effect. Something about this isn't right. And I wind up being right. And it is so bad now that they basically shuttered the studio, took the best talent from it, put it on Anthem, and the IP is quote unquote on indefinite hold. Mass Effect. That would be like Microsoft saying Halo's on hold indefinitely. Yeah. That's the well, same exact scenario. No, I mean really, Halo's fine. Halo's fine. Halo 6 will be out next year.
Really, Pete.
Yeah.
Man, what's up with you and what's up with this, man? The hate. Halo.
I know. I know. He's a Halo hater, man.
There's no Halo hate. Right? There's no Halo hate. Like I've always
to Paris that met the main actor of Halo 5. Paris, right?
I have always been consistent with my thoughts and beliefs on Halo. I love playing the single player, but the multiplayer has salted me tremendously. So,
all right, everybody, send your hugs and kisses to Pete. All right, next question. Let's go to the next question. Let's see what we have here. Arctic. He said, how about that line in Japan for Nintendo Switch? 3,000 in line and only 250 in stock. Wow.
So I'm actually glad to know that the United States isn't the only one that gets triggered by Nintendo's inability to properly stock and inventory their own equipment for sales.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's,
and you know, it's crazy that they had 3,000 people in line and it was a raffle for only 250 Switch that they could sell.
So even if you were first in line, there was no guarantee you were going to still get one.
No, exactly. You could be there for 3 hours. It wasn't guaranteed. So yeah, that was for one store. That was for like one store around Tokyo. I don't know which one, but yeah, it was insane.
I can't imagine, having seen how the lines around the world for people trying to buy their equipment, even months after the launch, they still don't know how to properly stock and inventory their product. Like, someone in those C-level suites has to be sitting there, like Paris likes to say, that I'm on dope.
You are on dope.
There's no way somebody in a C-level suite isn't turning around and yelling at people for not properly manufacturing enough product to keep on the shelves to sell these things. 3,000 people in line for only 200 pieces on sale. Come on. Yeah. Like, let's be realistic at this point. From a business perspective, I can't believe that somebody, whether it's a stock, some of that holds, a higher level of stock in that company, is turning around and not saying something to them. Like, they're leaving so much more money on the table than they already need. They're already floating in cash, but they're just leaving so much more money on the table that they could be collecting. It just doesn't make sense at all.
Any other questions?
No, I think we're good.
That's it.
All right, so head over to gamertagradio.com or play.it/gamertag. Listen to our past episodes over there. You could also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, and other podcast directories. All right, and also you can watch us live every Sundays and Wednesdays here live on Twitch. For more information, go to twitch.tv/gamertagradio. And you can check out our schedule there of the live recording of the podcast twice a week.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right. Anything else, guys, before we head out?
Nope. For those that are actually, for me, for those that are watching and they want to continue checking out some of our content, I am going to be live streaming Witch It, which is a brand new game that is still in early access, or I don't know. I got a code, so I'll be playing it with Doc Adams from Extra Life and H2O Acidic from Marooner's Rock. So we're going to be doing a live stream of that game probably about the next 5 or 10 minutes. It's a PC only game that from what I understand, but consider it multiplayer hide and seek, no guns. So this is going to be kind of a new realm for me, but it looks like a lot of fun playing hide and go seek with, I think it's villagers versus witches or something. I don't know. It's really, really silly. It looks like fun. I'll be streaming that just after the show.
All right, cool.
And because I'm seeing this in the chat, LOS 1652 is asking if we're planning on streaming any Battlefield 1. I'll say this. After this week, because obviously I'm going to play the hell out of this beta because I want to get as much information out of it as I can. Starting next week, I'm going to start switching up, playing some other stuff. And I can easily add Battlefield 1 to the list because that's something I need to get more into, that multiplayer. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah. Thank you for the suggestion, actually. I'll definitely do that.
Do you have that for the PC or for PlayStation?
I got it for both, son.
Both? Oh, you're prepared.
Yeah.
How about some of that PUBG that I bought you?
Huh?
How about some of that PUBG I bought you?
No, I mean, again, I need to play. I need to play. I need to jump in and play more. Yes, Jay Blader, we are recording the podcast right now.
Yep.
Yeah. We're about to wrap it up now. And what I'm going to do is tomorrow, I'm going to definitely play some games. Fortnite, I'm going to play that tomorrow, I believe 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I could try that. And that's going to be the first time of me playing for the Xbox One. So we'll see what happens. See what happens from there. And I think that's about it, guys. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching this live. And thanks to everybody that also been downloading the podcast through play.it/gamertag or gamertagradio.com. And all the new followers, Pete, you want to give a shout out to any new followers very quick?
Absolutely.
We have a couple.
Oh, yeah. I think we've seen about 5 or 6 new followers tonight. Actually, probably a little. It's about
Why don't you shout out Jay Blader 154 for subscribing?
Ooh, he just hit that too. Thank you very much, Jay Blader 154 for the subscription. MRB 1138. Estro Golofildo, I ruined that completely, but I apologize. Thank you for the follow. Best ZA 28668 for the follow. SHS 960503. Omnipresent Cadet MRB 1138. Thank you all for the follow. Crippled Harambe for the follow. Thank you very much. Paladin, actually, you were dropping questions in the chat. Thank you very much for the follow. Pixelated Pupils. Nope, don't. Angel C. Daniel. Thank you very much for the follows. Appreciate it.
Hey, how do you say his name? Paladin 1? Is that how you say his name?
Yes, Paladin.
Okay, you don't have to be gentle with me, bro. Bring it, because don't tell me you be gentle with me, and I'll be gentle with you in Destiny 2 matchmaking. Bring it. That's all I got to say. But since I'm talking, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but since I'm not Danny, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But since I'm talking, I'll just say real quick, I'll remind everyone, next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, we're going to have Deej from Bungie on here. So we're going to be talking about Destiny 2. I also, because I'm shameless, I will be doing a Destiny 2 beta recap video on my YouTube channel. So you can check that out too. That should be out next week, where I will have my uninterrupted thoughts on the Destiny 2 beta, because Danny won't be anywhere near me as I record that and do some gameplay capture. So it'll be great. So, and again, thank you everyone that's following us here on Twitch. Thank you to everyone, like Pete said, that has been subbing to the channel. This whole thing has been amazing. The fact that we went from 0 followers probably a week and a half ago to almost 700 right now is crazy. And probably by the time people listen to this on the podcast, it'll be over 700. So, we should do something for the 1,000th follower. We absolutely should. So we should, think of something cool to do, and when we get that 1,000th follower, we'll have to hook them up with something nice.
I agree. We will think about that offline. We'll try to figure some of that out.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks a lot, and make sure to tune in because Pete is going to be streaming in a few minutes. All right.
Yep. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.